Good evening. Thank you for attending Network After Work at Pacos. And tonight we have two guests. I consider Linnea our, I'll call her our MC, and her associate, Circe. So I'll turn it over to Linnea.
This is my first time at this restaurant. I had a wonderful meal, wonderful restaurant, and the ambience here, the warmth is wonderful. And I thank you for allowing us to come and present to you tonight. My name is Linnea Millette, and I am the friend and business partner of your speaker tonight, Circe. She's a speaker, trainer, and owner of Easy Bike Training and Technology. She consults with individuals and businesses in the areas of social media, blogging, and computer security. Understanding the challenges that business owners have with social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, she helps by unraveling this complex and fast-evolving world by teaching easy-to-implement techniques to being found online as a business owner. So please help me welcome in talking to us about how social media can gain customers or lose them, Circe Denyer.
Thank you. Hey everybody. I've been in the computer industry for about 25 years, and for the last, I'd say 5, I've dealt with some form of social media. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, and then there's a whole set of social media having to do with images. There's Pinterest, Monelo. All of them can benefit anyone in business, or it can take business away, depending on how you deal with it. So the first thing I want to do tonight is give you my take on what social media is, which avenues mean what, so that it's a little less confusing. If I were looking for a job, I would not be posting on Facebook, because Facebook is a social one-on-one atmosphere where a lot of people, your friends and your family, will post things that can be potentially embarrassing for you. I wouldn't post on Twitter because Twitter is an instantaneous 3-second blurb about something, but it's not up there very long. But if I were looking for a job, as an independent person, I would use LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is basically an online resume location. What do I mean by that? I can post every job I've ever had, every project I've ever worked on. I can get recommendations from people who have benefited by my work, and recommendations from people who have worked for me and people that I have worked for. So it's really a very concise way of putting who I am out there into the job market. As a matter of fact, a client I'm meeting tomorrow for the first time reached out to me through LinkedIn for a conversation I had, which takes me to the next step. All of these different social medias do different things, but every single one of them has the potential of being a one-on-one conversation with someone who can't see you. And that's extremely important. How many in here are familiar with Saturday Night Live? Do you guys remember when they did the online dating scene where the guy is sitting in the computer and I think he's in his underwear and he's got a very hairy chest and he's pretending to be a sexy woman? That's online interaction. We do not know who that other person is until they make themselves known socially with us. So it's scary. It's not like dating, but when you go out to hire somebody to do something for you, you told me you're a real estate agent, if I were to hire you to help me find a home, there's a certain amount of trust I'm going to give to you to do that for me. I'm going to trust you to listen to what my needs are. I'm going to trust you to make good value judgments based on the things I tell you. And then I'm going to trust you to ask me questions so that you can do the job that you're good at for me. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It matters that you are, number one, honest, that your integrity is intact, and that you are available to that other person, even though it's an online community. Social media is not any different than this, meeting face to face, unless you make it different. You can hide behind an ID on social media where nobody really knows who you are. But as business owners, you want to be as transparent as possible. But you also want to make sure that what you're transparent about is something you would not mind your grandmother reading. That's the most important thing. Everything on the internet is there forever. Absolutely forever. Going back to people who are looking for employment, or employers looking for people, they can find out everything they want to know from your timeline. Where you had drinks, how long you partied, what you looked like at that party. As we know, on the internet, there have been plenty of news articles about famous people getting caught doing things they shouldn't, and it gets posted online, on social media. If I were in business to produce clients, to get more clients to me, I would use Facebook business pages to do that. You can create your own business page as an individual. My friend Linnea is a speaker. She's got a business page as an individual person. You can produce a business page for an entity. Your real estate, mine's computer technology. You could be a person who owns, like you're interested in filmmaking. Maybe you're producing a film and you have a whole page about that film. It doesn't matter what the business is. You can create a page that is targeted just to that business. You name the page for the business. You as a personal Facebook user own the page, and then you decide what you're going to offer your clients. In my opinion, the reputation you establish on that page and out there in social media will make or break whether people will trust you to be hired, or if they will steer clear of you because you seem to be not the kind of person they want to know. Does that mean I never say anything personal? Absolutely not. My son's in the business. He designs video interaction products. He told me once, he said, if you do not appear human on social media, nobody's going to believe enough about you to hire you. If I'm going to put myself out there as a trainer to train somebody how to use their computer, keep it safe from the antivirus or the viruses and the malware and the things that can infect them, they're going to have to know why they're going to call me up for that. And the only way they're going to know that is that I have to appear just as human as they are, and then at the same time be as professional as somebody they pay to do that job. So your reputation is established by, number one, the things you say, number two, the things you don't say, and number three, what you do online regularly that offers something to those people who read your page. I do not believe in having 10,000 likes. It doesn't do you any good. I believe in having local likes, people who are in your neighborhood. This is Arcadia. You've got Pasadena and Duarte. You've got Monrovia. You've got a lot of communities around here. You want to attract people who are in those communities to your page, to your account if you have Twitter, to your LinkedIn. The way you do that is you join the groups that are in your industry and in your local area. For example, for me, I belong to several groups that have a core group of people that help others do the same thing I do. They may be all over the country. But when I'm searching for somebody in my industry to help me out, I search on the city I need and the industry to find groups that are like-minded and in my area. The way Facebook searches right now, we're kind of lucky because you can still search on cities and find out what else is out there in the cities that you belong to. You could search on commodities like art and accounting, things like that. You can find people who have already established groups like that. So if you're an accountant, you might want to search on the groups that other accountants belong to and then join those groups. And then when you do, make sure you're interacting with the conversations that are going on those groups. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, now, once you do that, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of them are going to try and get you to advertise. Right? They're going to say, why don't you advertise with us? Even Yelp does. They call me up once a month. Would you like to take out an ad? I found out that Facebook ads don't really generate a lot of income. They don't bring clients in. Like I said, I got a client off of LinkedIn. How did I get that? Belonging to a group, answering a question, responding to an inquiry. I was acting human and in a friendly and trustworthy way with another person. That person I thought was in downtown LA. When we finally had our conversation, it turns out she's in the San Fernando Valley, right around the corner from where my mother lives. So she reached out to me based on the answers I gave to a question she asked. That's my personal recommendation for social media. If you are selling something, Twitter's great if you can post one right after the other. If you're selling yourself, create a page on Facebook, get yourself on LinkedIn and put your resume up there so people can find you in a professional atmosphere, and make sure that everything you say, you don't mind somebody else who has a very conservative attitude reading it. Any questions?